Well, it's always an honor to have Congressman Allen West on this program because unlike most of the people who criticize him, including the liberal media, they didn't serve their country. Now, Congressman West, how are you, sir?
Hey, I'm doing very well, and I look forward to seeing you down in Hope Sound at maybe a Harry and the Natives, and we can have a good old cheeseburger.
I really got to do this. I want to do a fundraiser for you.
Well,
so, I mean, or at least a 10 one.
Come down. Yeah, whenever you come down, we're waiting for you.
All right, that'll be fun. As long as the lib media is there so we can really tick them off big time. I like doing that myself. Now, Congressman, Obamacare, among other things, drains over $500 billion out of the Medicare program.
Yeah.
And sets up this little Politburo of 15 phony experts, political appointees, who are going to decide, particularly in the Medicare program, who gets what, if they get what. Mm-hmm. This is a huge attack on senior citizens, many of whom live in your district. What you're going to vote, I assume, to repeal this, and you're going to fight to try and get rid of this statute, correct?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. As a matter of fact, I'm speaking to you from the Speaker's lobby. I just finished giving about a 2-minute and 15-second talk about why it should be repealed and its effect on small business. But you're absolutely right, Mark, when you think about the fact that this is nothing more than just a tax bill. You have 18 to 21 new taxes, and now we know that the individual mandate is a tax. You're going to see increases on capital gains tax, dividends taxes, which is so important for our seniors down in South Florida. And the quality of care is going to go away. And for our small businesses, when you look at this massive tax hike that the president just announced yesterday, and what we already see are the rising costs of insurance premiums, they're going to have to either lay people off of their employer insurance programs, or they're going to have to just put people on the unemployment rolls. So once again, we're just creating a bigger problem for this country. So it really doesn't solve the health care issue in the United States of America. It's just going to compound it, and it's just going to give 159 new government agencies and bureaucracies to President Obama so that now he can control and dictate health care in America.
You know, another thing, people applaud these low interest rates. Well, they have their benefits for sure, but when they're artificially low, Congressman, at some point, like any other bubble, it explodes and they're going to go up. But the thing is this. If we unleash our economy, if we rely again on the capitalist system, if we start reducing the size of the federal government and so forth, our currency, the interest rates will start to find their natural level. And I happen to know, because two of my parents are senior citizens, obviously, you can't get a return on your investment in this country, in a savings account, a certificate of deposit or whatever. If you're retired and you're putting your money away, because of the out-of-control fiscal policies, and then the Fed has to respond with its monetary policy.
Yes, you're absolutely correct. We have fiscal policy and monetary policy that are absolutely horrible. The fact that we are monetizing our debt, we're printing more money to try to buy up the debt and putting more currency out into the system to try to, quote-unquote, stimulate the economy, and keeping those interest rates artificially low is a sure-tell sign that we have not come out of this economic downturn. And when you look at our fiscal policy, the fact that we're going to raise capital gains taxes, we're going to raise dividends taxes, we're going to take the death tax from 35% bracket to 55% bracket. We have a president that does not understand small businesses and subchapter S corporations and LLCs, and that those top brackets are where your small business job creators come from. So now their taxes are going to get raised 4 to 5%. We have the highest corporate business tax rate in the world now at 39.6%. That's why we need to have tax reform. We need to, I think we can move to a flat tax. That's something that we voted on here in the House, having two brackets at 25% and 10%. We can reduce the deductions, and we take our corporate business tax rate from 39.6 down to 25%, eliminate a lot of the exemptions, and we can really start looking at reducing the size and scope of the federal government. But, you know, when you continue to hear from the other side, the left, that they believe in government investment, just like you said, what's the rate of return on a government investment? You know, investment, ingenuity, and innovation comes from the free market. It comes from individual industrialism, and that's what this president, with his onerous tax and regulatory policy and his failed monetary policy, that's is causing us to not have an economy that's growing. It's retracting. As a matter of fact, 4.1%, of growth, and that is the worst of the 10 recorded recoveries out of recessions that we've seen in this country.
Amen. No wonder the lib media hates your guts. You're so damn articulate. Now, Congressman Alan West, and by the way, your website is alanwestforcongress.com, alanwestforcongress.com. People can support you by going there. Mr. Producer, let's make sure it's on my social sites, okay? What do you make of this? It's not everybody, but so many of these columnists and news writers and editorial pages and so forth in South Florida, they really are gunning for you. And I'm not saying you're a victim, it's politics, but there's something about you they really despise, and I think I know what it is. It's your ability to articulate conservatism and the fact you're a minority.
Well, that's true. I mean, when you look at the fact that, here's a guy that was born and raised in the inner city of Atlanta, Georgia. I'm the third or fourth generations of military servicemen. I'm a retired lieutenant colonel from the Army. I'm a conservative congressman, the first black Republican member of Congress from Florida since Reconstruction, and I don't back down from a fight, and I don't look at them and, operate in the realm of fear and intimidation. This is not what they want to have out there, because I'm the complete contrast to what they have elevated, which is this failure of leadership that is occupying the White House. And so I don't kowtow to the liberal media. I see them as irrelevant. I see them as intellectually challenged and truly morally bankrupt. And that really causes them a lot of concern, because normally they're used to, pushing back, and conservatives, Republicans will back down, apologize, and things of that nature. And I just continue to stand on honor, integrity, and character, and speak the truth and speak facts. And I'm not going to back down, because this is a country that I love too much, and I want to make sure that I pass on a greater America to my children and grandchildren, and the same for all Americans than what we had passed down to us.
Well, I know our wonderful affiliates in your district, the folks listening there, absolutely adore you, and they can support you at alanwestforcongress.com. Now, let me ask you about this campaign. How's the fundraising going? How's the ground game going against your opponent and so forth?
Well, we have probably one of the best ground games in the country, and I think, once again, people will be very shocked to see our fundraising numbers, and it's because we stand on principle and we have pragmatic solutions, and we do very well articulating it. So right now I have a gentleman that is not just a rhino, he's a liberal trying to run as a Republican, and all three of the Republican executive committees in Palm Beach, Martin County, St. Lucie County have voted overwhelmingly so to endorse me and not even look at him as being a relevant candidate. And I have an opponent on the Democrat side that, in 2003, when I was leading a combat battalion in Iraq, he was down in South Beach getting arrested with a disorderly behavior and a fake ID. So I think that's an interesting contrast.
I guess it is, although that may be the face of the modern Democrat Party. You never know. Now, is your district, does it lean Republican, lean Democrat? Is it, who knows? I don't know.
It's what they call an R+1, 1% registered advantage of Republicans over Democrats, but we're getting a great reception all across the board, and, that 35% or maybe 40% that hate me because I wake up every morning, I'm not really trying to gain their appeal or be attracted to them. We're going to take our message to that 60 to 65% that knows that America is a center-right country. America is a country that wants limited government, that's fiscally responsible. They believe in individual sovereignty, the free market, our traditional values, and a strong national defense. And anyone that argues against that, I don't think they really understand the document that Jefferson wrote 236 years ago that 56 American men pledged their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor to.
Mm-hmm. Now, there are a lot of local issues in these races, too, and you guys down there, you bump into the EPA and the Interior Department and all these other things.
The EPA is horrible. I mean, first of all, they have a lawsuit against the state of Florida only about this thing called numeric nutrient criteria, where Lisa Jackson wants us to have runoff water that is parts per billion purer than rainwater, and that's going to adversely affect our farmers and our local municipalities. And we also want to work to make sure that our ports and our inlets are properly dredged, and we have good clean water that's flowing through the Everglades, this natural southward flow, so we don't get the spill off into our estuaries there with the St. Lucie River and also the Indian River. So those are, the key local issues. But the bottom line is people want to stay in their homes. People want to work. People don't want to sit back and be economically dependent on President Obama and his socialist egalitarian nanny state.
I want to tell you something, Congressman West. I worked in the Reagan administration. I campaigned for the man in 76 and 80. I want to tell you something. He would have been extremely proud of you, as so many of us are. And I want folks all over the country, if you can help Alan West, it's alanwestforcongress.com, alanwestforcongress.com. Congressman, I'm a man of my word. We're going to set up a date, and I'm going to get down there.
Well, I appreciate it, and it will be an honor to shake your hand and stand on the stage next to you, Mark.
My pleasure. And God bless you. Be safe.
God keep you. Thanks a lot.
All right. Take care. That's Congressman Alan West. That's alanwestforcongress.com. Come on, folks. He's in a tough race. I'll tell you it's a tough race. It's a marginal district. It's 50-50. He is being pounded by the liberal newspapers there, which everybody reads, goes into their homes. He's being pounded. So I would hate to wake up on election day and we lose Alan West.